everybody. We are here to talk about our final paper, our critical analysis essay. This is what we have been working towards the entire term. Can you believe that the submission is already here? Man, those 8 weeks, they go by fast, don't they? Alright, so let's get down to it. What are we doing with our critical analysis? It's going to be the culmination of all of our activities. We've already done a first draft. We've gone through the revision process. We did the T analysis. We did the reverse outline. And after doing all those revisions, we've got our final critical analysis essay. Woo! So let's keep this brief. I know, I'm a brief one for once, right? And we'll talk about our critical elements. Okay, what we're looking for. We want to make sure that we have an introductory paragraph. We want it to do two things. The first thing our introduction needs to do is have an overview. So we want to make sure that we provide an overview of the work being analyzed. Tell us the title and tell us the author. Okay, we want to make sure that we're giving a little brief, keep it brief, summary of the article that we are analyzing. Second part of our introduction is we want to make sure that we have a nice solid thesis. Again, I encourage you, as we've discussed, to use that formula that we presented both in the announcements and in MindEdge to make sure that we transitioned our claim to a nice, strong, solid thesis. And then we want to take a look at our body paragraphs, and this is where we're having that chunk of conversation. Remember, we want at least 3 with each of those 3 discussing one particular key point. Let's make sure that all of our bodies are very intentional. We want to have multiple paragraphs. We want to make sure that they are focused, they clearly state their intent using a topic sentence, and that they build and reconnect to that thesis argument. So we want to make sure we got that topic sentence and the actual discussion ties back in, supporting the topic sentence to that thesis. We want to make sure that we also include detailed and specific examples within our writing. Additionally, for our body paragraphs, we want to make sure that each one supports the claim by combining our thoughts and ideas with that evidence, with those direct quotations or paraphrased bits of content. And we also want to make sure that instead of just dropping that quotation in there, we want to talk about it a little bit and discuss how it ties in and supports our claim. So those are what we're looking for with our body paragraphs. Now we take a look at our conclusion. Our conclusion only needs to be 1 paragraph. And remember, with our paragraphs, we really want to make sure that they are a minimum of 5 sentences. And I'll say that again. Let's make sure our paragraphs are a minimum of 5 sentences. 5 to 8 is what we're kind of pushing for. They can be a little bit longer, but not too much longer. So our conclusion paragraph will be about 5 sentences, and we want to make sure that it's reviewing our thesis. We're going to paraphrase our own thesis, so to speak, and summarizes those key supporting ideas, what we talked about in the body paragraphs. We also want to make sure that we articulate just a couple insights as well that were established through the analysis that we went through. What was some cool things we have learned through this process, and how has that impacted our claim or our thesis or our understanding? What did we ultimately get out of this analysis experience? And then again, we will be looking at the articulation of response. We want to make sure that there's no major errors in terms of grammar or organization or spelling. Make sure we're using the right word choices, maybe not using so many contractions, and we're making sure that our citations are correct. Now again, the only thing that we should be citing, as we've touched on throughout the course, is that article. We are not using any outside sources. So let's make sure that our one works cited or reference page entry is correct. And again, you can always send your paper to me early, and I'll be happy to review it before you have that final submission. This is the exciting moment of the term. It's the whole point of the term. So let's make sure that we look at our rubric clearly. You have any questions at all, email me, text me. We can talk on the phone, talk it out. You can submit your paper to the SNHU OWC for one final review. And of course, you can also post on the general discussion forum, because if you have a question, it's likely that one of our peers has the same question. And I want to remind you that the due date, there's no extensions. It's a hard deadline. Week 8 at 11:59 p.m. is the very, very latest. That Sunday is the very latest where I can accept any submission. So let's make sure that we get our assignments submitted and turned in. And where do we do that? We want to go back to Brightspace, click on course menu and go to assignments. And then we're going to look for week 8, because awesome, we're in week 8. There's my fan, I know it's loud. And to submit that final assignment, we want to click on 8-4 submission, critical analysis essay. Hit click on it and it will open it up, and again you can review that rubric one last time. Scroll down to where we want to actually submit it. Make sure that we add the file, we upload it, and then we do hit submit. hit that blue button, sit back, let out a big sigh of relief. You're done. You did amazing. You did all this hard work all for this moment. I will get to grading as soon as I can and try and get that feedback to you quickly. Be proud of the hard work that you did. It's been a great term. You did it. You totally had this. Be very proud of yourself. It's been awesome. All right.